On the last video, I broke down how AI and oversight are starting to rely more heavily on what's already in your file. But here's the problem. Your file may not be saying what you think it does. You may have bad notes, missing diagnosis, and a copy and pasted forward errors that don't just sit there. They shape decisions and become your new reality within the VA. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to audit your VA medical records step by step, what to look for, what actually matters, and how to catch issues before they turn into claim or CMP exam problems. This isn't about panic, it's about awareness and control. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm trying to help you understand how to think within the VA system. If the VA, an examiner, or any technology-assisted process is looking at your file, then your records matter more now than ever. Not just what is true in your head, not just what happened when you were in service, but what matters most is what is actually documented in your file. And a file full of mistakes is where veterans lose in the VA claim process. Because a lot of veterans never go back and read their own records. They assume the notes are accurate, they assume the diagnosis is listed correctly, and they assume the symptom severity described the way they explained it. But that is not always the case. Through va.gov, you can now review your records online in the My Healthy Vet portal, including your full medical records, your care summary notes, lab and test results, allergies, and vaccine records. And if needed, you can also request records from your VA health facility's release of information office. So step one in the whole audit your file process is to get your records. Set up an account, if not already, at the va.gov like I spoke about, and go to the medical section area of the website and download what you can. Like I just said, if there's more information that you need that's not available, go to your release of information office at your local VA facility and request the additional information. Now that you have all your records, step two in the process is going to be to read them in depth. Don't just skim them, but audit your records like you're building a case file, because errors usually hide in patterns, not in one page. And I would break this down into 7 categories. The first is going to be your problems list, which is also your diagnosis. The second would be your primary care provider notes, also referred to as care summaries. Your third is going to be your specialty provider notes. For example, mental health, pain management, gastroenterologist, whatever other specialist that you may be using. Your fourth one is going to be your diagnostic reports, imaging, labs, and test results, for example. Your fifth would be your medication history. Your sixth would be your community care provider notes. And your seventh would be your private medical record. And once you've done all of that, we're going to go to step 3, which is going to be check the problems list and the diagnosis. Start with your diagnosed conditions first, which should be a list in your file referred to as a problem list. And while you're reviewing this, ask yourself, is the diagnosis that you have listed there? Is it worded correctly? Is any important conditions missing? Is an old issue still listed as active when it no longer applies? Or is a serious condition described too vaguely? This matters because if your diagnosis is missing, mislabeled, or buried, that can affect how your overall record reads later. Now, step 4 in the process is going to be to review your provider notes for copy and paste errors that have been carried forward from previous note entries. This is one of the biggest things veterans miss due to placing too much trust, in my personal opinion, into the provider documenting things correctly. Some providers may copy forward old language, leading to inaccurate statements that can live in your file note after note after note forever. So things that you want to watch for on this issue is statements like, the veteran denies flare-ups, when you actually never said that. The veteran's condition is stable, when it's actually not stable. The veteran's condition improved with medication, without documenting the side effects or limitations of those medications. The examiner addressing the wrong body part wrong onset date, or wrong history of injury. Look for indications that your symptoms may have been minimized or incomplete, and look for any notes that said you refused treatment when in fact you did not do so. Now, moving on to step 5 in the process, and that is to check whether your worst functional limits are actually described in your files. A lot of veterans focus on diagnosis, but ratings often turn on function, severity, frequency, and impact. Simply having a diagnosis of a condition is not enough for a rater to know how to rate your current disability. So be sure and look for whether the record actually shows how often your symptoms occur, how severe they are when they happen, how long flare ups last, and what they stop you from being able to do. Also, look for what is the work impairment impact, sleep impact, concentration impact, and social impairment impact. And also look to make sure it's documented that you have a need for accommodations or assisted devices if you do indeed need those. If a veteran's note just simply says, veteran is doing okay, but leaves out the actual day-to-day limitations, that can become a huge problem later in the process. And now on to step 6. Make sure that you compare what's in the notes to what actually happened at the doctor visit. You need to ask yourself, did the note capture the main reason I came in? Did it leave out any key symptoms? Did it make my condition sound better than I described it? Or did it include something that I never actually said? And this is where we as veterans must slow down, because sometimes the record is not exactly false, but it is incomplete in a way that can have major effects and impacts on your expected outcome, especially going through the disability claims process, where you're relying on a rater who does not know you to review your file and come up with a conclusion based upon what is actually in your file. Now on to step 7, and this is going to be to make an audit log. Don't solely rely on memory. Create a simple audit log that will include the date of record, the provider name, the note title, the exact problem that you found within your records, and why it matters, what the accurate version should say, and whether you have supporting evidence to support the request for correction. This will help keep you organized throughout the entire process and help you to avoid having emotional responses or a vague correction request that may or may not make sense to the medical provider. Because step 8 in the process is going to be to separate the bad notes we've identified through the audit into 3 separate buckets. Bucket 1 will be clear factual errors. And these will be errors like wrong date, wrong body part, wrong diagnosis, wrong history, wrong medications, and wrong event, for example. Bucket 2 is going to be incomplete documentation. And these will be issues like important symptoms that are not properly documented, limitations that aren't showing, flare-ups that are not in your file, or occupational or social impacts of your symptoms and your diagnosed conditions. Bucket 3 would be opinion or interpretation issues. And what you want to look for here is provider language that makes the condition sound mild, stable, or resolved when the broader record may show otherwise. Using this strategy is important because not every issue gets addressed and fixed the same way. And if the overall tone is inaccurate, you must get it corrected in order for the VA rater to have an accurate perspective of your claimed condition. On to step number 9, request to amend information when it is appropriate. The VA states that you have the right to request an amendment to health information you believe is incomplete, inaccurate, untimely, or unrelated to your care. The VA guidance says the request should be in writing, clearly identify the record or note, the date, specific information to be changed, and an explanation of why to do so. And it's very important to make sure that you do not make this personal or get emotional. Stay strictly business throughout the whole process. Do not send a rant. Do not say my records are all wrong, and do not be vague, but rather reference the note title, the the date, the exact sentence of issue, what is inaccurate, what the correction should reflect, and what supporting evidence that you may have to support your request. Now to step 10, using supporting evidence if any exists. If you have supporting evidence, this will greatly strengthen your request for correction. And these will be items like imaging, lab work, specialist notes, medication history, prior diagnosis, outside treatment records, symptom logs, or even a concise written statement from you if needed. The point is not emotion. The point is documentation. Anything you can do to strengthen your case, you need to do so. And do so with honesty, without emotion. On to step 11. If you have requested a correction be made, don't ignore it if it does not get done. And this is a key mindset point. Even if a bad note is not formally changed, you still need to know that it exists. Because once you know it exists, you can counter it strategically if it comes up throughout the VA claim process. Or even better yet, you may even include it in a personal statement to be packaged along with your claim request. When I say not ignoring it, I mean, for example, you might want to bring it up at your next appointment if it's not been corrected. You might want to ask a provider to document the correct picture going forward to avoid that from happening again, or by submitting clarifying evidence in your benefits claim to offset this being in your file, and properly preparing for how a CMP examiner could interpret that note being in your file so that you have the proper response at the time of your CMP exam. In other words, this audit is not just about making corrections in your file, but more importantly, it's about being aware of what is in your file so that you can deal with it if it does come up. Now let's look at what veterans should look for specifically before a claim or a CMP exam. If you have a claim pending or expect a CMP exam, pay extra attention to these claim killer record errors. For example, your provider stating that your symptoms have improved, your condition is stable, there is no functional impact, the veteran denies treatment, missing flare-up discussions or documentations of flare-ups, mental health notes that understate occupational or social impairment as a result of your condition, and no mention of assisted devices, missed work, or activity limitations. Because those phrases can shape how your case is viewed and possibly from a negative perspective or image for quite some time. Now let's tie this to a much larger issue, which is what my last video was discussing, and that was safeguards around AI summary of veterans' records. Veterans cannot assume that every layer of the system will pause and ask, could this note be wrong? Sometimes the system may simply treat the record as the record. And that is why auditing your files matter. The safeguard is not blind trust. The safeguard is knowing your file better than anyone else and then taking ownership over the information that is in it for clarity and for accuracy. I can't stress the importance enough of taking time to audit your file, understand what is in there, so that you understand the picture that you are actually conveying. So if you have never reviewed your VA medical records line by line, now is the time to start. Not because you should panic, but because you should be prepared. And once you get that done, each time you go to the doctor, make sure that you review the post-care summary notes for accuracy and request corrections then versus waiting a long time later. Veterans who are in the strongest position throughout the whole claims process are usually not the ones who assume everything in their file is correct. They're the ones who know what is in their file, they know what is missing, and they know what needs to be clarified before it becomes a much bigger problem throughout the claims process. So as a quick recap, and I will have this down in the description of this video, your audit checklist would be to download your records, review your diagnosis, review provider notes, check copy and paste forward errors, check missing symptoms, check functional impact, make an audit log, and request amended corrections in writing, which can be done through My Healthy Vet through va.gov. Make sure that you save your supporting evidence and get prepared to address any issues at your CMP exam and during your claim process. Owning your information is key to success within the VA disability claim process, and conducting an audit like discussed today is the first big step to success. Be methodical, intentional, and specific. It will be painstaking to go through the process, but once you are done, you will feel comfortable and confident in knowing what is in your file and what landmines may pop up that you got to deal with. Hey, if today's video resonated with you and you found it of value, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. Please put a like on the video to send out to more veterans who need to hear these messages. And as always, I appreciate you watching. I'm Mike, and I will see you on the next episode.